For reaction to this and more of our top stories, we're joined by Republican Senator from Kansas and member of the Energy and Natural Resources Committees, Roger Marshall. Senator, thank you so much for being with us today. I want to get your reaction just before we get into the rest of the discussion. The story we just saw from Nate Foy about the parental fight over what kids are learning about gender identity. Your reaction to that?
You know, Jackie, I'm a parent, a grandfather. What happened to the innocence of children? What happened to protecting traditional family values? As an obstetrician and gynecologist, I can tell you over 80% of children with gender dysphoria will outgrow it. You know, I always thought that my job as an OBGYN was to help girls get through these very challenging times without permanent scar tissue, whether it was STDs or pregnancy or disfiguring irreversible surgeries. My job was to try to help get them through this without something they wouldn't regret later. And I want to put the HHS secretary in the White House on notice that if they're doing disfiguring surgeries without parental consent, that's child abuse, and we're going to come after them.
All right. I want to get to the rest of what we were talking about earlier. Ukraine is just continuing to be such a horrific atrocity. We're just seeing event after event. And to our viewers' credit, there's been no lack of interest in following what's happening in Ukraine, even though it's a world away to so many Americans. But we are about to see impacts here at home that go beyond the price spikes that we've seen when it comes to gasoline. Can you tell us more about how Americans are going to feel this in their pocketbooks in the coming months and potentially years?
Yeah. Well, Jackie, I filled up my truck here yesterday and it cost $125. Grocery stores, the average family is spending $100 more per week because of inflation, and it's going to get worse. There's a perfect storm brewing in the Black Sea. A third of the wheat's exports, about a third of the world's fertilizers pass through the Black Sea. And that's going to have a ripple effect as those exports are stopped. Typically, those exports go to Africa, to the Middle East, where there's already food insecurity. Where there's food insecurity, there's going to be starvation and famine. And then people are going to be over here trying to take our products, buy our products to supplement what they're missing as well. So to the people back home in Kansas, our grocery store shelves are going to be empty and what we can find is going to be more expensive, and the price of gasoline is going to keep going up.
You know, the European Commission opened up agricultural lands that were under conservation and also pumped $550 million to European farmers to increase production. Last week, Senator Rubio called on the Biden administration to take some similar steps and unlock 4 million acres of lands that are under conservation in the U.S. They're in a reserve program, but the president refused, Rubio says. Do you think this administration is putting its standing with climate activists or environmentalists above, you know, common sense when you see these steps being taken in Europe? And often they're to the left of the U.S. when it comes to, you know, energy and climate-friendly policies. Why isn't President Biden doing that?
Well, you're understating the problem, Jackie. Actually, this administration has an all-of-government war on American agriculture and American energy as well. The EPA is keeping our production down by not allowing us to use traditional safe pesticides. We're growing so much more with less today. They want to overregulate our waters. The price of diesel fuel, fertilizer, if you can get it. We don't mine anything in this country anymore, so we're having to import our potash. The cost of nitrogen fertilizer is quadrupled because it's made from natural gas. So there's other things the president could do that would allow American agriculture to be set free. And mostly just tell the government to stop, stay out of our business, let American agriculture prosper. But really everything needs to be on the table, because I'm telling you, everything is set for an Arab Spring, another Arab Spring here come next March and April.
I assume I know the answer to this already, but the Biden administration, you know, releasing barrels from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, hoping to bring down gas prices. The last 2 times they did that, it didn't make a dent. What do you want to see the administration do in order to ramp up domestic production?
They need to stop doing what they're doing. Again, they've declared an all-government war on American oil. Everyone knows about the Keystone Pipeline being shut down. It should have been producing right now 1 million barrels a day, equivalent to what the president is releasing. We need more oil leases. The EPA needs to stop shutting us down. But the big problem right now in the oil patch is financing. The feds and the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency are going to score loans to oil energy programs very badly. money, and those banks don't want those loans on there. So people that I know that have been successful for decades can't get loans anymore. Again, we need this Biden administration to set American innovation, American energy free. It's real simple.
One last question. We're out of time, but I want to get your reaction to what our earlier guest said. Hannah Hopko was pushing the U.S. to return its diplomatic presence to Ukraine, as we've seen other countries start to do. Do you want to see that happen?
Appreciate Hannah's words. She's become a very close friend to our office. Yes, it's called leadership. It's called doing the right thing when it's not necessarily popular. And it's not, I understand it's very dangerous right now, but I think America needs to start leading. Look, we're the leader of the free world. It's time we start acting like it.
All right, Senator Roger Marshall, thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Jack.
Have you again soon.